Hey everybody, it's your old pal Steve Moore, owner of Run More here. Today I wanted to talk about the brand new Mizuno Horizon 7. Hey, and quick disclaimer, Mizuno did not provide these shoes for us, they didn't ask for feedback, and they have no say in any final edits that we do. These are just some thoughts that I have on their new product. Let's get into some of the nitty-gritty specs on the new Mizuno Horizon 7. This shoe comes out in March of 2024, and it's $170, and it weighs 11.8 ounces. It has a 33 millimeter stack height and features an 8 millimeter drop. The upper is a stretch woven, and the midsole has 2 layers of Mizuno's Energy EVA midsole. It also has a durable carbon rubber outsole, and it features a fully gusseted tongue. So, who is the Mizuno Horizon 7 made for? Well, you know, for us here at the shop, this is traditionally a running shoe, but honestly, about half of our customers that come in are looking for a high cushion, high stability shoe, ending up using this as a walker. And we'll kind of get into some of the details as why. But first I wanted to kind of compare this to a couple other shoes just to give you some baselines on it. First, let's just talk about how it fits compared to the Mizuno Horizon 6. Big difference between the two is that there's a lot more cushion between version 7 and version 6. They have the same 8 millimeter drop to it. They're both $170 when they were new. They both have very similar uppers, and they both feature Mizuno's Energy midsole to it. But I will tell you, when you put them both on side by side, the additional cushion is felt immediately in version 7 versus version 6. But I also wanted to compare it against another model that's out there from a competitor that's also classified the same, that we sell a lot of here in the shop. And that's the Brooks Glycerin 21 GTS. This is another high cushion, max cushion stability shoe that features both medial and lateral support, just like the Horizon. One of the big differences that I noticed right between the two is weight. You know, you can kind of tell by looking at this shoe that this is a chunker. This is like a big beefy shoe, and it weighs about 1.5 ounces more than the Brooks Glycerin GTS. And I will tell you also, just underfoot, even though they have similar stack heights and all that stuff, this just feels like it has a little more pop to it, where this just feels like it has a little more density and stability to it. So again, kind of have to know what's right for you and what you're looking for. I would tell you, one of the things that I experienced underfoot right away with this was the fit had been much improved. And you know, it's interesting, and speaking to some of the folks from Mizuno over the last couple of years, they've really tried to play on getting the fit better. And quite honestly, at the shop, most of the times in the years past, when we're pulling a Mizuno, like, we're almost always having to size it up a half, or like if somebody comes in that has some more of a wider or higher profile foot, we might be a little hesitant in pulling a Mizuno shoe just in general. But in the last year, we've really seen them putting a lot of energy and effort into fit. And I will tell you, as somebody who, like some Mizuno shoes I wear, I'm a wide, this 11.5 standard fit me perfect. And that's something that a size that I wear true in most of my shoes. I haven't always had that experience with Mizuno where I could get my actual size and feel totally comfortable and happy, and I can in this shoe. The other thing I noticed right away putting it on is the weight. I mean, it is definitely a heavy shoe, and for somebody who likes to still think of themselves as a semi-speedy runner, this would be something that I probably wouldn't run it, and that's just on a personal thing. Obviously, there's plenty of people there that do run in this shoe, but for myself, you know, a shoe that's almost 12 ounces is a little heavier underfoot than I would like. Now, conversely, a lot of my customers come in and they want that stable shoe they put on and they go, okay, I'm not moving around. I feel very grounded in this shoe. And one of the things that Mizuno has done on the last 2 iterations on the Horizon is that nice dichotomy of soft and still stable. And I would tell you, putting on version 7 and then putting on version 6, they've added 2 millimeters of cushion, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but when you put them on side by side and like walk around and such, you can literally hear the difference in those 2 millimeters. I'm a big sound guy when walking and running and comparing models, and you can literally hear yourself walking different in between the two shoes. This definitely like has a more soft foot, underfoot when you're walking and such in it compared to the old ones. And so it still gives you that like, oh, okay, that's a nice soft underfoot, but when you start walking, there is no movement in your foot. Whether you're somebody who rolls in, rolls out, like you are stable and grounded in it. Part of it also is, while it's not technically a straight last shoe, you can tell there's a ton of ground coverage here, even more than the previous version. So whether it's the density in the shoe and the stability in the arch, there's just a bunch of different things that Mizuno has done in this shoe to provide lots of stability. And like, there are a lot of people that come in here and I'll put them in like a super stable shoe and maybe go back to like a Brooks Glycerin GTS, and they'll say it just doesn't quite feel stable enough. You don't really hear that on a Horizon. You really don't. And I think that's also why for us, it's great for a lot of people who are just looking for a walking shoe. It's something that they can put on and go work, go all day in, and feel their foot happy. Somebody who's maybe coming off of an injury or has a history of plantar fasciitis, this shoe will take care of your foot. You just have to understand that it might be heavier than some of the other counterparts in that same max cushion high stability, and it doesn't have that same, to me, responsive midsole that I've found in some of the other Mizuno shoes out there and then some of the other competitors. But again, depending on what your need is, if you're a bigger person and you find your foot moving all over the place, if you're a new runner and you're hoping to tackle a marathon, and it might be a 5+ hour marathon, nothing wrong with that, and you want to make sure your foot is as stable as can be the whole way, this could be an awesome option for you. So again, just finding out what's right for you and sort of the type of shoe you're looking for, making sure that this shoe lines up with your needs are. So if you really are somebody who has tons of pronation issues or just tons of like heavy support needs, but still want a shoe that doesn't feel like you're clomping around all day in it, this could be certainly a good shoe for you. A couple of things that I am a little worried about. First, I wish this price point was just a little bit lower. You know, again, it's competitors, whether it's an Asics Kayano or a Brooks, you know, or even a Hoka shoe. You know, this shoe is a pretty expensive shoe, so I wish it was a little bit lighter. And also, I don't love some of the color schemes with it, and I'm not saying that as like a fashiony thing. I'm just saying for us, the type of customers that come into this shop, because we have a lot of just walkers or people using it professionally, it'd be nice if they just had a solid tone or just a black, white without all of the funky patterns, because it does deter some of our customers who want to use this for multi-purposes from picking it up. But really, those are sort of the two things that are concern me. One thing that doesn't concern me at all with this shoe is durability. You know, it's one of those things we preach in here a lot, is Mizuno's been making running shoes since the early 1900s, like the 1906, I think is when they started making their very first running shoe. You're not gonna find shoes that are much more durable than a Mizuno shoe. Yeah, it might weigh a little bit more, but the rubber that they use, the midsole materials, everything that they do is sort of like high quality, and we don't see people come in and say, oh, the rubber separated, you know, I didn't get a lot of life out of it. Doesn't happen with Mizuno. So if that's something that you're really concerned about, which everybody should be concerned about, not with this shoe. Anyway, I hope that answers some of the questions out there on the new Mizuno Horizon 7. If you have any questions on this product, feel free to leave it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as we can. And hey, if you wanted to do us a solid and purchase it, you can do that down below as well. And if you enter our promo code RUNMORE, just one word, RUNMOORE, I should know my own last name, you'll save 10% and we'll ship it out for free. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Do me a favor and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you're in the greater Westminster, Maryland area, stop on by and say hello. Happy running, happy trails, happy all that good stuff. See you around town.